Hello, my name is Sabina Orunbekovna. I am a teacher of the English language at the Department of Foreign Languages here at Taraz Innovative Humanitarian University. Today, we have a new lesson. The theme of the lesson is passive voice. We'll have the warm-up, then I will introduce you the whole theme and use the triple P method. It is presentation, practice, production. Further, we'll have feedback and I will give you the home assignment. Hope that we'll enjoy this very lesson. Okay, first of all, to warm up, let's watch the video.
Stickman! Oh, Stickman! Beware of the... Dog!
You may command and say
A stick?
what's happening.
Barks the dog.
An excellent
can-
stick!
See a stick.
The right kind of stick for my favourite trick!
It is one
I'll fetch it and drop it and fetch it and then... I'll drop it and fetch it and drop it again! Whoa! I'm not a stick. Why can't you see? I'm Stickman. I'm Stickman. I'm Stickman. That's me. And I want to go home to the family tree.
A notice says,
Dogs must be kept on the lead.
at last the game's over, and Stickman is freed. He sets off for home with a hop and a twirl.
Stickman! Oh, Stickman, beware of the girl!
A stick!
Cries the girl with a smile on her face.
The right kind of poo stick for winning the race! Has everyone got one? Get ready to throw! It's 1, 2, 3, into the river they go!
Okay. Could you please tell me what have you seen? What kind of actions? You may use past. Yeah. There was a stick. It was running away from the dog. Then, finally, yeah, the stick was caught. The girl picked it up and then she threw it into the river. Yeah, that was very interesting. This is the adventure of the stick, or we may call him a stickman, him or it. Okay, so here I wanted to show that the active voice is when grammatical subject performs the action. So we could see the active voice from this very video. And then the passive voice. Passive voice is when the grammatical subject is being acted upon. So let's look at the table. This is the passive verb formation. First, you should mind the tense, then the order, subject, auxiliary, and past participle. For example, here we have the sample sentence. The first is present simple. The sentence is in the present simple. So the subject is the car. The auxiliary, this is the form of the verb to be, here gains the form is or are. It depends on the form of the auxiliary, whether it is singular or plural. And finally we have the past participle. So here it is the third form of the verb. If this verb is not in the list of the irregular verbs, it will gain the ending ed. You know it. The next is present perfect. The car has been designed, or the cars have been designed. Then the past simple, the car was designed or the cars were designed. So according to our previous video, we may say that, okay, the girl threw the stick into the river, yeah? This is the active voice. So the girl took that stick and threw it into the river. So what tense is it? It is past simple. So we should change it into the passive voice. It will be the following. The stick was thrown into the river. Okay, we will write it further, and for the beginning we will pick up only the several tenses, and in our further lessons we'll consider the rest. Okay, so we use an active verb to say what the subject does. Here we have another sample. So my dad was a builder. He built this house in 1935. So my dad, let me write it. My dad. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me change my marker. So my dad was a builder. My dad built, let's say my dad built this house. This house in 1935. Okay, so who? The subject is my dad. So who? My dad. He built what? The house when? In 1935. So let's change it into the passive voice. Look, I told that my dad is subject, but here it will be a little bit different. Look, so let's first of all identify the tense of this sentence. My dad built. Built, it is the past simple. So okay, past simple. Let's change it into the past simple. So here we'll have this house. This house, because the subject, when the action is being acted upon it. So this house built. So we have to be, this house is singular, so it will be was. This house was. Then built, the third form of the verb build is built. The same, okay, this house was built. Oh, sorry, built. In 1935. So here it is. This house then was and built. So was is be, you know, and built is the third form of the verb. let's check it out and look at our table. So past simple, you can see the car was designed. This house, instead of the car, we say this house. Then the auxiliary is was, because this house is in the singular form. Then the third form of the verb is built. So this house was built in 1935. It is correct. So we use the passive verb to say what happens to the subject. This house is quite old. It was built in 1935. Yes. So instead of this house, you may say in this context, it was built in 1935. It doesn't matter. So when we use the passive, who or what causes the action is often unknown or unimportant. A lot of money was stolen in the robbery. It is another example. So we know that the money was stolen, but we don't know who caused the action. So it is not very important for us, and it doesn't even matter. So is this room cleaned every day? You may hear this question or ask, and we don't really care who cleans this very room. It doesn't matter again. So it is just the general information. But if we want to say who does or what causes the action, we use by. So this house was built by my dad. This is the same example. And here we may add, this house was built in 1935. In 1935, you may add by my dad. That's it. So this house was built in 1935 by my dad. We pointed out that this action was done exactly by who? My dad, because previously in the context it was written my dad, but we may change into another options, maybe not my dad or my uncle or any other organization. It doesn't even matter. But if we omit and put away the by my dad, it will be okay. So this additional information is not very important, but if you want to show it, you may add by my dad. So now please, let's practice and look at this picture and tell me what is here. What is it? Yes, it is mouse from the cartoon. Yeah, Tom and Jerry. It is probably Jerry. Okay. So the we'll write this very sentence here in 1 second. It is not so easy to erase all these writings. Okay. So we may see the mouse running away with cheese. So we might say, okay, the mouse has stolen cheese. Has stolen cheese. So this is the active voice. The mouse has stolen the cheese. And then we may change it into the passive voice. We may say that the cheese, then mind the tense. This is the present perfect. Present perfect. Okay, I may write here present perfect, because every time I get out of the range. Okay, the cheese has been stolen. The cheese has been stolen. Okay, here you may say that the cheese has been stolen. Has been stolen. Let's check it out, whether it is correct or not. So let's go back to our table and look at it. So present perfect. The car, here we have the cheese, has been. You see, auxiliary. It changes, the verb to be changes to has been. And then finally we have the third form of the verb, steal. Steal, stole, stolen. Okay, so the cheese has been stolen. You may add by mouse or you may omit this information. It is not very important or crucial. So let's do the next. Okay, what can you see here? This very interesting creature, I mean, it is a worm. So the worm is reading a book. Okay, let's write it down. The worm is reading a book. The worm is reading a book. So the worm is doing an action, is reading a book. So let's transform it into the passive voice. You will take a book. So a book or the book is being read by whom? Here it is. So first of all, we forgot to mark the tense. What tense is it? The worm is reading. It is present progressive or present continuous. It is the same. So the book is being read. Third form of the verb and the form of the verb to be. So let's go to our table and check it out, whether it is right or not, correct or not. So present progressive or present continuous. Present progressive, the car is being designed. So the book is being read. Okay, this is correct. So the book is being read by worm. You may omit the additional information. It's up to you. And let's consider the next picture. Okay. You probably see the Santa. Okay. He brought his presents. Okay. We may say Santa. Okay. Santa brought presents. So here Santa brought presents. First of all, we should mind the tense of this sentence. So it is in past simple because Santa brought. Then let's transform it into the passive voice. So presents, we'll take presents. Were brought by Santa. Okay, so it is obvious that presents were brought. Again, let's go to our table and check it out, whether it is correct or not. So, past simple, look at it. The car was designed, or the cars were designed. So presents here in the plural form, that's why we have were. It transforms to were, and then we have the third form of the verb bring. So bring, brought, brought. And it was, they were presents that were brought by Santa. I think that it is very easy for you and hope that you can cope with any further sentence. Okay, so let's have some quiz. Look, here we have 9 sentences. You should use the correct expressions to complete the passive sentence. So, in the yellow, you may see the verbs. So, to write, to grow, to find, to paint, to make, to hold, repair, cook, and serve. You should pick the appropriate verb and insert it in each sentence and convert it into passive voice. So it is already in passive voice. You should mind the whole structure and do it. Okay, you'll have time. Okay, so let's check it. So the first sentence. First of all, you choose the verb to write. Okay. So it was written. It was written. Why? Because this masterpiece was written by Miguel Cervantes. So look at it. The next sentence. A lot of coffee is grown in Brazil. Here you may see again the auxiliary verb and then the past participle. The world's highest mountains are found in the Himalayas. Then the Mona Lisa was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. Then are made in Japan. Yes, you're right. Were held. Okay. Is being repaired at the garage. It's been cooked. And it will be served. Okay. Everything is correct, but do not worry if you have some little mistakes. So, let's have some feedback. What have you taken from this lesson? Okay, now you know exactly the difference between active voice and passive voice, and you know how to transform from the active voice into the passive voice. Okay, was it easy to comprehend? Maybe at the beginning? Oh yes, it was not very easy at the beginning. So do you like it? Yeah, thank you. I hope that you like it and you know what is the active and passive voice. So the active voice is when the action is made, and the passive when the subject, the grammatical subject, and the action is made upon it, yeah? Okay, good. So, your home assignment, you'll be given exercises to complete. Please check out our distance learning website, and then you should prepare 2 sentences per tense. You may do the sentences just like I have shown you here. Then you will take the challenge to explain the theme. I hope that it is very interesting, but the challenge don't be afraid of the challenge. You should just pick up 1 tense and then explain it. And that give some more examples, and I hope that it will be very profitable, both of us. Okay, so thank you very much for your attention. I hope that this lesson was very interesting for you, and see you guys next time. Goodbye.